to talk about abundance mindset. What does that mean? I'm going to be sharing 5 ways that you can cultivate abundant mindset. And indeed, when you have abundant mindset, the world is, you see the world different basically. And indeed, you live your life different and things just fall into place for you. And I just want to share all those, just about 5 of them, because there are a lot of ways that you can cultivate abundant mindset, but just 5 on this video. If we haven't met before, my name is Beatrice Yakubu. I am the founder of Simply Family Business. I help you market your business online and via social media and other digital places so that you can become visible and to be able to attract your ideal clients so that they can become your customers. Now, let's go back to the video. By the way, if you haven't subscribed before, subscribe to my YouTube channel and indeed turn on your notification. So let's get started with the 5 ways to cultivate abundant mindset. Number 1 is for you to recognize the power of your thoughts. Before then, let me talk about what is abundant mindset in the first instance. Abundant mindset is a factor when you come to a place in your life that you do not constantly think about what is lacking in your life rather than being focusing on the things that you actually have. Because unfortunately for most of us, whether it is through upbringing, whether it is through the environment that we find ourselves in, we can kind of focus on the things that we don't have to the extent that we actually forget that we have so much. I often say this because and it's a cliche, but I don't kind of forget to say this a lot of times, that when I was coming to the United Kingdom, I carried just a bag, just one suitcase, and there wasn't even clothes in that suitcase. So sometimes I look around myself and it's full of stuff, and you have to carry things away to charity and all those kind of things. You just have to realize that actually we have more than we can ever imagine. So that is with the abundant mindset. How can you decide or think about cultivating abundant mindset? Number 1 is for you to recognize the power of your thought. Thoughts are powerful and thoughts are things. For those of us who are believers, the Bible says your thoughts can produce things. Your thoughts will actually become manifest as words, and when you say words, they are powerful. So be mindful of what you think about, because a lot of times we think about things that we don't even know we're actually thinking about them. And for most of us, I know that in my community, it's kind of happens that a lot of times unconsciously, when we gather or when we're having a conversation, we are always talking about something negative, which sometimes you finish that conversation and you think, but why were we talking about something that would excite us rather than talking about the things that would actually dampen our spirit? But it's just how I think how most of us were brought up and how society have conditioned us. So if you want to have abundant mindset, think about your thoughts, how your thought patterns go, and just kind of bring the thought back to alignment with the things that you want, because other than that, your mind will always go to the things that you lack rather than the things that you have, which is unfortunate for most of us. Then the next point is your practicing gratitude. And what is gratitude? Just being grateful. Because I was listening to Patrice Washington, and if you've been listening to my channel, you know that I talk about Patrice a lot. She is the podcaster for Redefining Wealth, an amazing lady. And she was interviewing one of her students or one of her clients, and then this lady talked about the fact that at some point in her life, because of the fact that she was struggling to have a baby, she couldn't. She actually wanted to take her life. And then as she was speaking with her brother stopped her and, mourning again and complaining about the fact that life wasn't treating her well and all that. The brother stopped her and said, when have you ever actually expressed gratitude? that you are grateful that you are alive, that you are grateful that you have me to speak to, you are grateful that your mom and dad are still here, you are grateful that you have great friends, you are grateful that your husband is an amazing person. And then so this lady said that was the message for her. And as soon as she heard that, she had to actually stop and think and just realize how ungrateful she is. And then, from then, obviously, she transformed her life and then decided to start a business just to coach people to realize that actually sometimes just being grateful is all that you need to be able to move your life forward or to be able to have abundance, because when you are grateful, then you are not thinking about what the things that you don't have. Then the third thing is to think about, believe that the sky is your limit. Now, the sky is actually not a limit, I would say to some of us, because if you think about it, it is often said that those who believe they can actually become. If you believe that you would achieve something, you would, and you work towards it, you would achieve it. There is a saying that I was listening to another guy, Bob Proctor. He is one of the mindset gurus. He worked until he was in his late 80s. Unfortunately, he passed last year. An amazing um, gentleman. He talked about the fact that when you think about something, it's already there. And that was a statement that really grabbed me. He said, when you think about something, remember that it's already in existence. It's only that you haven't gotten there yet, but it's already available. Otherwise, you wouldn't think about it. How profound is that? And I was thinking, yes. And then the example that he gave was when the Wright brothers started to think about a flying human being. At that point, it was the craziest idea ever. Like, nobody had ever thought about how can a human being fly? We don't have wings. How could we fly? But they thought about it. Guess what? It was already available. Why? Because they just needed to test and work at getting there. And you can imagine, I think it's about 100 years ago now, and flying is not even something that we just think about flying as normal everyday life. So the point is that thinking that the sky is your limit or having abundant mindset gives you the ability to think that yes, whatever it is that you desire to have, you can actually get there, because the fact that you have thought about it, it means it's available. You haven't gotten there yet, but it is there. And I think there's another thing that he mentioned about humans, so how human beings develop. He said at that point when science was starting, we didn't know that how conception happened, and all that, and how the genes are passed on and things like that. But it was already happening until someone decided to investigate these things and actually gave us the tangible evidence. It was already there. So having abundant mindset and having that gives you the belief that whatever it is that you have thought about, you can bring about into your existence. The fourth one is to cultivate and share passion and purpose. Now, the purpose lady, or living your purpose, is again Patrice Washington. She talks about don't chase after money, chase after your purpose, because when you think about your purpose, it will eventually bring you to the point that you want to be in your life. Guess what? Unfortunately, for most of us in life, what we tend to think about is money. And it's not this fault, because that's just how we were programmed as we were growing up. You go to school, you finish school, and the next thing is what do? You go to work, you start work, and when you get work, you make your money and you spend it, and then you go back to work and make the money and spend it. Anyway, that's another day's story. But the reason why most people will not live abundantly or abundant life is the fact that we are not actually focusing on our purpose. I remember, even up to now, the things that I desired to do way back in early 90s. I just knew what I wanted to do. But because of certain things, I just felt it was impossible. So because I felt it was impossible, I kept postponing and postponing these, important things that will actually make me feel more fulfilled. And, just going to work. What about the things that will make you happy? What about the thing that will make you feel good about yourself? What about the thing that will make you contribute into someone's life that you just look at them and smile? Unfortunately, a lot of us don't think about those things because we are just thinking about how to, the day will go by on a day-to-day basis. But when you think about abundant mindset, again, I think about it this way, that missionaries, for example, go to different countries. They just go. They don't have anything. But the fact that they desire to transform other people's life, they go. And guess what? Things happen and they get settled and they actually make a lot of difference. So having an abundant mindset doesn't just mean that you have lots of money, but just being able to share your passion and your purpose in life and just live life according to your own terms and how you feel fit for you, in that sense. Last but not the least point is to develop mastery and experience. When you live abundant, or when you have an abundant mindset, what you do, you actually focus on it. So sometimes when we are doing things, because of our programming for most of us, you are, you know, if that thing doesn't make you money, it's not worth it. So you carry on doing the things that will only bring you money. And guess what? You don't kind of master the thing that would bring you fulfillment and get you the experience that you want, that will make you feel really, really good by yourself. And I will share an example of a lady, I can't remember her name now, but if you are from Africa, from Ghana, for example, there is a charity called AfriKids. So AfriKids was started by a young lady. I think she was in her late teens or early 20s, and she came to Africa on a gap year. And she decided to come back and fundraise to start the organization. And she partnered with other African, the church in Bolgatanga, which is in the northern region. And that was the beginning of her career. And I bet when she was in uni, she wasn't even thinking about things like that. But because she just started this as a passion, guess what? She was able to develop it, and then now, in the first instance, developing the passion to fundraise, developing the passion to just take care of people that she doesn't know, and now developing the passion to become a person who has actually helped a lot of charity organizations put systems in place to grow, because how she did her charity organization was really, really different from all the main charities organizations that you see, because she focused on sustainability, like starting up businesses in the name of the charity so that it can feed the needs of the people that they were supporting. So, for example, they started with hospitals. They did hospitals. They did hostels. They did I think hotels as well, to fund this rather than just relying on donors all the time. So your ability to become master by experience and mastery is based off the fact that you have an abundant mindset, knowing that if I start to do this, for example, if I start to do a business and the money isn't forthcoming, for instance, it doesn't, you have the tenacity to stay put and to ensure that once you have the right vision, of course, to ensure that you are working towards this goal. And guess what? The thing that you put your time into, you are going to become experienced and master at it, certainly, because that's just how life is. Those are the 5 points that I want to discuss with you or share with you on this video. I just say the recap, which is in order for you to develop an abundant mindset, you have to ensure that you recognize the power of your thought, which is, thought is everything. The next thing is for you to have a gratitude, to be grateful in your day-to-day life. The third one is for you to know that the sky is your limit. And in my opinion, the sky is not even the limit. And then the fourth one is to cultivate passion and purpose, and then the last one is to develop mastery and experience. Those are the 5 points as far as growing an abundant mindset is concerned. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel, and I will come your way once again. Like the video, send me a comment if you want me to do a certain type of video. I am all for it. Send me a comment and I will do that. I shall come your way once again. Take care. Be blessed. Bye.